Good evening, guys. Thank you so much for coming. If you guys don't know, my name is Eugene, and I'm going to start the talk off with a little story. There was once upon a time, there was a 12-year-old kid. He was like your typical kid. He liked gaming, Halo, Call of Duty, Pokemon. He played all those games. And then one day, his father bought a camera. It wasn't a fancy camera. It's a basic camera, 450D Canon. And he asked his child, you want to try this out? And like any other kid, he said, yeah, why not? So he took the camera and he took his very first photo, and he was amazed because he created something. And he showed his dad, hey dad, look at this photo. The photo was really bad. I think it was of a wall. But I showed my dad, and my dad was like, hey, good job. And then from that point onwards, the kid just kept taking photos. And he realized as he grew up, as he learned more about photography, it wasn't just a creative art. It wasn't just a form of art. He was capturing moments, memories, and that was very precious to him. So he kept learning photography, kept doing photography. And then a few years later, he got into theater, drama, acting. He got into acting because he wanted to be someone else, someone that's not him, someone in a way that he can escape reality, be someone else, do something different. Loved it. He loved it. He continued writing stories, acting, because there's a thrill to it. It's exciting. You see, I haven't caught on. The kid's me. And I think for me, filmmaking is a combination of photography and theater, acting. And 6 years ago, I created my first short film. Absolute garbage, but you'll see it later. Bad acting, bad directing, bad script. It's titled Impossible. I made it with my high school friend. So bad, so bad. I cringe, you will cringe as well. But that is, we spent a month making that, shooting it, writing it, and it was hard, but we had so much fun. It wasn't just the final product. It was the whole process. Seeing the seed of an idea, turned into this video, this art, and it was incredible for me. And so I kept learning filmmaking through YouTube tutorials, and I watched my inspirations, One Film Productions, Film Riot, etc. But why I really kept doing film was because I wanted to share stories, memories, moments, experiences that I've had. And hopefully experiences that, if converted into film, and when audiences like you watch it, make you relate to it. If it's a sad film, hopefully you relate to it and go like, hey, I'm not alone in this. Someone's been through this as well. And I think every one of my films is from an experience that I've had, from a memory, from a moment in my life. And I think the film that I release at a particular time reflects my mood, my perspective on life. I did a film called Wake Up, which you'll see later. Sorry, give me some water. I did a film called Wake Up, and it was about two brothers arguing about not pursuing their dream. And that was at a stage of my life where I was thinking to myself, why am I making films? Why am I doing what I'm doing? I should pursue this dream of mine. That's why I made Wake Up. Um, there's a How to Get Her Number. I think most of you have seen that. That was when I first came into UST, and I went like, where the girls at? Yeah, that's why I made it. Really, I'm serious. Found survival tips when I was dying from multivariable calculus last semester. And, these are experiences, let it be happy or sad. I wanted to share it with people. And the film I'm going to show you now, it's called What If? It's my latest film. And have a look, see what you guys think.
Would you be my girlfriend?
Yes. Hey. What would you do if tonight was our last night together?
I'd tell you about our journey. The smiles. The laughter. The tears. I'd tell you about how you changed me. What about you? What would you do?
I just want this to be the way you remember us.
It matters how we end. If tonight was our last night together, I would hold you like this, and I would tell you about everything we've been through together, because
what?
Because what if I never love again?
Hey guys, I'm Adrian Dryden. Just in case you didn't know, I've been in Eugene's shorts before. Thank you. So, there's going to be 3 types of people in the audience today. You either really like filmmaking and acting, which is great, welcome. You're either good friends of us, thank you for supporting us. Or your friend dragged you along, but don't worry, we have something to talk about that too. So, as all great speeches go, I'm going to tell you something about myself. I first started acting when I was in a Catholic school, actually. basically I was in primary and they needed someone to play Jesus Christ. And being one of the only native English speakers at English school, I decided to do it. And at first I thought it would just be, some fun, messing with friends. But after I kind of did it, I loved it. And in two ways. So this goes into, if you're interested in acting, maybe you've done it, maybe you haven't done it before. But why I loved it is because there's so much things that you haven't seen be put into the production. So 90% of the work that we've done for this short, you've never seen before. Well, we actually have a behind the scenes video you can check on the YouTube channel. So besides that, other shorts, you rarely see our full work. You see 10% of it, the most. And this is why that I think people should give filmmaking or acting a chance. For example, you hear me sniffing across the whole video. That wasn't me being sad, I was freezing. It was so cold that day, but it worked for the scene and no one would have known. Or whenever I watch the argument scene, I laugh because I actually scared the actress by accident. And it's these little subtle things that I think is perfect why you should get into it. You build a bond with your group mates that you've never experienced before. You have so many inside jokes, and it's just so much fun. The second reason why I think you should go into it, I'm sorry about the filmmaking aspect, I'm just going to the actor aspect, is you forget about all your troubles nearly instantly. The second the camera starts, the only thoughts that go through your heads is what the character you're playing as feels. You're not worried about grades or maybe your girlfriend fights. You're in the moment and nothing else matters. Now, if you want to become part of this process, you shouldn't just be thinking about, oh, I want to be famous. I want to do videos so everyone can praise me. That's not what an actor does. Being well known is a byproduct of that. What you're trying to do is help the director achieve his vision. And through that, well, you'll get well known, which is good, yeah, I like it. Now, one thing that I hear a lot when people want to go into this kind of area is that they're too scared. And the first time is always going to be terrible. But what I don't like is when people keep making up excuses. And first, I did too. When I first started, for example, auditioning for a theater work, I always thought, I'm not good enough. There's someone always going to be better than me. Or that time is not convenient for me, I'll do it next time. Or I'm tired today, I don't want to show up to the audition really tired and sleepy. But you're just going to keep making excuses after excuses after excuses. So if you're really passionate about this, the first time will always be scary. But just do it, right? The worst that can happen is you don't get the role, or your video might get criticized. But take that criticism productively. Make yourself better. Audition again. Get rejected again? Doesn't matter. Do it better next time. You won't get better and learn unless you take in criticism. Now, everyone starts somewhere. Even Eugene, even I. And it's the first video, the first acting experience that gets you hooked because you remember of everything you've done wrong, just like an exam. That one question you've done wrong, you'll remember that. It'll haunt you for the rest of the night. But you forget about everything you did right. So like Eugene, his first video ever made was a video called Impossible, which we'll show in a second. Now he's come a long way. Till this day, it haunts him because he feels like it's really bad. But keep in mind that it's because of this bad video that he managed to produce some of the greatest shorts I ever watched. So please, Impossible.
Your appeal to fight with the channel has been approved. Reply if you accept the challenge. Undefeated champion. Height 190 cm. Weight 85 kg. Age 25. Nickname The Beast. Record 99 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. Total fights 99, never lost. From New Zealand.
Hey bro, it's been a while. Nice to see you too. So, I've heard you challenge the undefeated champion, the Beast.
About that.
Are you ready? Listen, 99 wins, never lost a single match. No one ever lived to tell the tale. Can you quit?
It's too late now. I can't back out the fight.
I promised your father, before he died, that I would protect you. I wouldn't let anything happen to you. And I'd rather take that beating myself than watch you die helplessly. It's alright. I got this.
I asked for you, and you sent me that fucking weakling, that unworthy ant, to fight against the undefeated champ. Now his punishment is death. You should have seen the immense amount of blood pouring out of his body, helpless to fight back. And I punched him again and again until I heard his puny ribs crack wide open. Do you have the fucking strength to face me, or do I have to come and find you and beat the fucking life out of you?
I accept your challenge. See you in 2 months.
Never have I seen such a shocking match.
Neither have I thought this day would ever come. One to the left, another one to the right. Boom! The champ falls to the ground.
This is a historical day, Mike.
Very well indeed. The champ gets back up. And again, the rookie takes him down. Holy shit! Excuse my language, but this rookie has certainly done the impossible.
Hi, everyone. So, thank you. And for those of you that don't know, my name is Charles, and I am not a professional actor. I am not even, I don't think even considered amateur level. The amount of acting and experience that I have in my entire life can be summed up to either Eugene's videos, a modeling photo shoot that I had one time, and a Colgate advert when I was 5 years old. That's probably still running in China somewhere. If you can find it, please tell me, because I still haven't seen it to this day. I will come full circle, but I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of background into the life that I've kind of like lived so far and how it relates to acting. So, one of the most pivotal moments in my life was when I was 18 years old and I had to return to Singapore and complete the national service. So that was one of the most influential moments in my life because I learned a lot about myself, I learned a lot about other people, interacting with everyone from different types of cultures, backgrounds, and
so on and so forth. It was one of the best times of my life, even though I suffered immensely for it. And I still don't regret waking up at 5 a.m. every day for 2 years. But it was pretty rough, and I think it kind of affected me a lot when I actually left the service back in 2015. Because the thing that I actually really, really liked about the service was the camaraderie. Less so about the regimentation and discipline, those are great, but I really miss the kind of feeling of working alongside people who genuinely have your interests at heart as well. Besides that, when I left to the civilian world, obviously there's no structure, there's no rank to tell you to denote what kind of level you are or how experienced you are. I felt that every time I'm out here, I've basically kind of had to prove myself in some way or another. And it's kind of like a race. And I'm sure most of you are like students in this school, you know what I'm talking about. This race is never ending. After you finish that exam, it's whoop to the next one. And then surprise, the mean's higher than your grade. So it's a constant show of trying to prove yourself for the eventuality that you leave university. I'm sure it's the same for teachers as well, where you're constantly trying to have to work on your research project and prove yourself to the entire global community. That's pretty rough, I'm sure. But this kind of changed when I made friends with Eugene, and he asked me, hey, would you be interested in doing like one particular role? And like Dryden mentioned before, or Adrian mentioned before, I'm not a huge actor. I'm not very interested in acting, and to be completely honest and frank with you guys, I'm not quite very interested in acting, put it plainly. But I thought, you know what, you gotta learn from experiences and you gotta try. And when I went through this process with him of making the next film, which is called The Wake Up, I actually realized that I thoroughly enjoyed it. But not for all the reasons that you think. Like, I actually managed to draw a parallel between the acting industry and the military career that I actually built. And the main thing that I truly enjoyed about acting was actually the camaraderie. Because for once in the last 2 years that I've been at university, I've actually experienced that same kind of familiarity with people and drive. In the sense that, let me give you an example. In the Army, you're working and living next to, in my case, 16 other dudes in the same room. Kind of gets intimate from time to time. Whereas in acting, and very much in the making of this film, I had to get used to all the other actors, all the other producers or people that were there on set in a very short amount of time. You're trying to build a very intimate kind of relationship and making it believable in a very short period of time. And that's exactly what happened. And it really reminded me of a time that had passed quite some time ago. And the more and more that I did it throughout the day, I remember it was over one entire shoot, there's a lot of action, choreography, and we got hurt a little bit, we punched each other a little bit too hard, but that's okay. And despite all of the long, arduous hours, I enjoyed it. And I think that's kind of the parallel that I've drawn between what I once missed and what I will now have, particularly now that I'm outside of service. So I think in essence, the kind of thing that I'm trying to pass on to the rest of you guys is try something, and try something new all the time. Because if Eugene hadn't pestered me for 2 to 3 weekends to try out his film, and if Adrian had not been in the same class as me and he goes, hey man, do you want to maybe try, maybe? This wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't have had that same kind of experience. So the key takeaway from this is try something new every single day. You may never know where, even though something's entirely unrelated to what you're trying to do, try it out. You'll never know what comes your way. So without further ado, I'll pass on for you guys to have a look at this film, Wake Up, and thanks so much for your time.
What happened to us?
What do you mean?
I dreamt of fighting in the ring. The adrenaline. Hearing the crowd cheer our names.
Life happened.
life. You call sitting in that office 8 hours a day life?
Grow up, Josh. Dad would have said the same thing.
Dad told us to never give up. You're a disgrace to him.
Really want to be a fighter? Show me.
Hey.
Jacob, always fight for the thing that makes you happiest. Don't ever doubt yourself. The day you stop chasing a dream is the day you stop living.
I know, Dad.
Wake up.
A lot of people ask me, which is my favorite film? I've made over 20, I think. That's my favorite film. We spent 2 months or 3 months making this, from the first draft of the script, or the story, in fact, not even dialogue, to the very last draft. And just shooting it, the story behind it, the meaning behind it, it's very strong to me. And some of you might not know this. Charles, he said he wasn't good at acting. He won the Best Actor Award at the South China Student Film Festival for this film. I also won Best Directing Award for this film. But I think we still have lots of room to improve on. I'm gonna let you all on to a little secret that I don't tell a lot of people. Sometimes I look at my friends, people around me, and a lot of them, they're gonna be engineers, lawyers, scientists, consultants. And I look at what I wanna do. I wanna make films. And it just feels to me that what they're doing, lawyers, doctors, engineers, it feels like what they're doing has so much more meaning than what I'm doing, holding a little camera, making films. It feels so minuscule, so tiny. And tell you what, every time I upload a video, every time I share it, before I upload it, there's a slight hesitation. I don't want to share it. I don't want to show you guys, because I feel like all my friends are accomplishing these great things with their lives, potentially becoming just great professions, and I'm still making videos. But after watching my films, my friends, my cast and crew, my family, they tell me, hey, Eugene, that was a pretty good film. I liked it. It touched me. And they tell me, you're going to keep doing it, right? You're going to keep doing this. They encourage me to go on, even though it's nothing big, like I'm not making the next Iron Man suit. You know, I'm not doing anything revolutionary. They still kept telling me, hey, Eugene, you can do this. You know? Just keep trying. You'll get there. You can do this. And that is why I named my production company EuCan Productions. Yeah, Eugene Chan, EuCan. I wanted the name of this brand inspire people, to let them know, even if your dream isn't like the typical Asian stereotype to be a doctor or engineer, do something creative, something that you like, something that you're passionate about. And it's okay, that you should keep striving for it, because eventually you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, no one will. And yeah, remember guys, you can do this. Thank you. Okay, Q&A time. Any question, we'll answer it. Guys, absolutely any question, how silly you want it to be. It's up to you. Questions? Yeah? Yeah. I have a personal short film coming out. It's the longest short film that I've made. I know a lot of people go like, why are your films just a few minutes? We want more character development. We want more story. We want more action. Well, good news. My next film, it's gonna be at least 15 minutes. We spent 4 months, a good 4 months writing the story, writing this film. And from reading the script, I can say it's the story I'm most proud of at the moment. And we're shooting it next week, actually. And can't wait to show you guys at the UST Film Festival in May 8th, which you should definitely go to support me, us. And we're also working with humans of HKUST on this project called How We Met, to place emphasis on the importance of friendship in university. Sorry? What's the biggest challenge when it comes to directing? Oh, actually, no, I thought about this. Actually, saying no. But I'm a person where if you come up to me and give me a suggestion, I will take it, because I believe what you have to give me is valuable. I will almost always take it. But sometimes a suggestion to the script, to the story, or to the way it's being shot might not be too good. So it's about learning to reject an idea. You think, you know, my friends, you should learn to reject it.
So I'm curious about your choice of music.
Okay.
Where do you get it from?
Okay.
How?
This is actually really interesting. I went onto a website called Free Music Archive. I found this composer, Old Noise. The song was copyrighted, but I emailed him. Went like, hey, I know you're just starting out in music as well. I said, I'm starting to make movies as well. Do you mind if I use your music? And through that email, we added each other on Facebook. We started talking because we enjoyed the creativity of this. And from then onwards, we just sort of connected, and most of my shorts use his music because like filmmaking lets you bond with people. Some of my music is original, not all of it. I have time for one more.
Where can you find inspiration for your movies?
Where can I find inspiration for my movies? Okay. Most of the inspiration behind my stories are real life events that have happened to me, or memories that I've had, or moments that I've had. Sort of things. Every film you see, some part of it happened to me, or I've experienced it of some sort. Or stories that Adrian or Charles or my friends tell me stories, and that sort of inspires me. Story. We want it to be as natural as possible. We don't want it to be overly pretentious. Yeah. More questions? Okay.
I saw the three movies, and I find your point of view very natural. Do you think you could somehow get your influence by local movies, movies or the culture of very masculine movies? Even the first one, what is from the male point of view? Do you think you will change a little bit or shift a little bit in the future?
Okay, so most of my films are very masculine. I don't want to say this, but I think it's because UST is lacking in girls to inspire me. So maybe that's why. But I have thought about this, and when I write scripts with girls in it, which not that many, frankly, I do try to balance out the point of views, but sometimes it's just so hard because, yeah, not many girls in USD. But no, I do try to keep it balanced for both genders. Maybe hopefully in the future I'll have like a female's perspective on a film, on a story, hopefully.
I mean, the thing I did it was primary, so it wasn't actually like a whole kind of like play thing. It was more like someone is reading a verse from the Bible, and then I stand up and I move my hand across the cup, and it turns into wine. I mean, awesome party trick, but I don't think I'll be doing that again anytime soon. Anyone else?
Okay, thank you so much for coming, guys. It means a lot to us that you guys even bothered to come. And I hope you learned more about us at this talk. And we also like to thank the SAO, the HKUST Art Festival, for allowing us to screen our films here at Talk here. It means a lot to us. So thank you so much, guys.